Okay, do me a favor, picture a dinosaur. Just the first image that pops into your head. Got it? I'm willing to bet you're imagining a giant, scaly lizard, right? Well, what if I told you that image and pretty much everything else you think you know about dinosaurs is wrong? Let's dig in and uncover the truth.
So first up, a question of time. See, we have this habit of just lumping all the famous dinosaurs together into one long single dinosaur age, like they were all neighbors. But the reality of when they actually lived is so much stranger than you think.
Just look at this timeline. It completely breaks your brain. The Stegosaurus was already a fossil for millions and millions of years before the T-Rex ever showed up. In fact, and get ready for this, there is more time separating the Stegosaurus from the T-Rex than there is separating the T-Rex from us, right now. A Tyrannosaurus rex is closer in time to an iPhone than it was to a Stegosaurus. Let that sink in for a second.
All right, next section, the Great Deception. Now we're getting to the big one, the myth that is so fundamental, it's in every childhood book, every museum, every movie. It's the story of how it all supposedly ended.
We all know the story, don't we? A giant asteroid comes screaming down, bam, hits the planet, the sky goes dark, and poof, no more dinosaurs. It's this dramatic, powerful story of total extinction, a neat and tidy ending to their reign.
What if that story is only half true? I mean, the asteroid part, that was very real. The mass extinction absolutely happened. But were the dinosaurs completely, totally wiped off the face of the Earth? So paleontologists, the real dinosaur detectives, they follow the clues, and what they discovered was just astounding. When you put the skeletons of certain dinosaurs, these two-legged predators called theropods, next to the skeletons of modern birds, well, the family resemblance is just undeniable. You see the wishbone, the hollow bones, the three-toed feet. It's the same basic blueprint.
So here's the absolute truth. Dinosaurs never fully went extinct. One branch of their family tree survived. It evolved and it thrived. They are all around us right now. That pigeon you see hopping around in the park, it's a dinosaur. The chicken you ate for dinner, a dinosaur. That eagle soaring high above, a majestic, living dinosaur.
Okay, let's tackle another classic image. The slow, clumsy monster dragging its tail everywhere. This whole idea really just comes from the very first discoveries and, well, a big misunderstanding of their biology. We picture them as these massive, awkward beasts that could barely move. But does that make any sense? Was this incredibly successful group of animals that ruled the planet for over 150 million years really just plodding around waiting for an asteroid? No way. The evidence says something completely different. We now know, from studying everything from their fossilized footprints to building biomechanical computer models, that many dinosaurs were incredibly active animals. Predators like the raptors were fast, agile hunters. And even those giant, long-necked sauropods. They held their tails high off the ground for balance. These were not clumsy brutes. They were sophisticated, highly successful creatures. And you know, speaking of myths, pop culture has probably been the biggest source of misinformation out there. And one of the most famous dinosaur myths of all time? It comes straight from one of the biggest movies ever made.
You know this scene. Of course you do. The terrified kids, the thundering T-Rex, and that one critical piece of advice. Don't move. It's brilliant, heart-pounding movie magic. But as science? Oh. It's completely and totally wrong.
The reality is, the T-Rex was a perfectly tuned predator. Its eyes were forward-facing, just like ours, giving it fantastic binocular vision and depth perception, like a hawk. Plus, scans of its skull show these huge olfactory bulbs, which means its sense of smell was unbelievably powerful. Standing perfectly still to hide from it would have been absolutely useless. It would have seen you, it would have smelled you, and it probably would have heard you breathing.
So, let's bring all this together. We've busted some of the biggest myths out there. So what does this new, more accurate picture of dinosaurs actually look like? What's the new reality?
So here's what we know now. The dinosaur age wasn't one thing. It was this immense, varied, and incredible period of time. The dinosaurs weren't failures that disappeared. They were so successful that their direct descendants are still one of the most common animal groups on the entire planet. They were complex, active creatures, not simple monsters. And maybe the most important lesson here, we have to be really careful where we get our information, because sometimes a good story can completely overshadow the scientific truth.
And that leaves us with one final, kind of unsettling thought. We've all spent our lives with one version of the dinosaur story, only to find out it was largely a fantasy. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other things that we all just accept as common knowledge every single day are just waiting to be proven completely wrong?